This is Ruben speaking. What you're gonna hear is a series of chronicles from a point of view that is not necessarily human. What I mean by that is that it is from a man called Rubens. That doesn't mean necessarily it's gonna be a human perspective, because that particular man is an aspect of a different sphere of activities that involve others that are not visible into the realm of our perceptions. Otherwise, simply put, this is going to be a perspective coming from others in the invisible realm through one who is stationed in this realm called planet Earth. There are many misconceptions that are afflicting this planet, have been afflicting it for quite a while now. And it is time that we start changing our perceptions. So one of the themes that we're going to start with is that of perception. We perceive ourselves as human. That is, most men understand that human means just what man is meant to be. Otherwise, we are all human beings living on a single planet called planet Earth. However, the term human itself is not necessarily understood. The HU itself stands for higher universal men. Otherwise, human means higher universal man. What does that mean? Well, there are many men living on Earth, that is, male and female together. However, not all of them are of a higher understanding. Not all of them function at the point where not only do they not see themselves as men living on one planet called Earth, but they have to understand at one particular point that their perception needs to come up to a higher level, whereby they see themselves as the higher universal man. That is the subject, one of the subject of this particular chronicle. We have all been under the impression that we are confined to this very planet. That is not true. We are not confined to this planet. We are beings who have come here in this realm to portray or play major roles in this human vessel that we call the human body. It is only a vessel, which means it's a device, a tool that we utilize in order to function in this realm. That doesn't mean necessarily that we are that we see, that which we see, which is the vessel, the human vessel. There are many aspects of our lives that we need to start understanding beyond the visual point. We are here to learn, to evolve, to become more than what we think we are. We are here on specific tasks. We are here on a transitory mode. We are not here to stay, but rather to come and learn that which we must in order to move on, to evolve, to go to another mode of life that is of a higher understanding. I am Rubens, this man here, but that is not the total me. I am more than what you see. I am more than that which my parents have known of me. This man living on earth called Rubens. And I am only one example among many. All of us are not simply that which we see, which is the human vessel. We are not the embodiment. We are the one that makes the embodiment moves. We are the ones that activate that which constitute this realm. And we must understand that now. We must make up some sort of a progress. We must move beyond this seeming reality we call life. Life is a lot more than that. There are many things, many customs, many mores that we have had for a long time on earth that must end, they must cease if we are to move to another level of understanding, another level of evolution. We all have been born. We were born in some sort of a culture by necessity. And many cultural practices must also cease by definition if we were to move on the evolutionary ladder. The continent of Africa, and all those who are not in Africa any longer, but are of African descent, those cultures have adopted certain modes of realities, mode of practices that must cease. And one of them is the one that we call the genital circumcision that is practiced all over Africa and other places away from Africa. That is a cancer in our midst, and we must altogether remove it so it doesn't grow somewhere else. We ought to start understanding that the female version of the human aspect is as sacred as that of the man. Female are not inferior to males. Those are two different aspects of the same reality. It's as if you were looking at a coin. There are two sides of the coin. None of them is superior to the other, but rather they form a whole that is seen from a different perspective when you split them in two. We have to understand that in essence we are spirits, which could be equal to what we call energy. We are energy moving in a field made of many particles or moving parts of that same energy. It seems as if there is a separation, but there is none. Reality is only whole. It's only one. What you concentrate upon is what makes it seem separate. That's what gives the illusion of a separation, but that is not the case. We have to start understand that there is absolutely absolutely no separation, but there is a complete cohesion between all the parts that we see. We're accustomed to see them separately, and unfortunately there's an elite of individuals who have somewhat gotten the ill understanding that the planet belongs to them, and they have somewhat encouraged us, or actually imposed the view that we are all separate, that we are not equal, and we are not the same at all. That has worked for millennia on Earth, and they have gotten accustomed to the idea of domination and complete slavery of most of those individuals living on Earth. This is about to end. We are entering an era in which separation cannot take place any longer in this field of activity, in this sphere, in this realm of spiritual cohesion. We have to start forcing ourselves to deprogram ourselves and reprogram ourselves. Or when I say ourselves, I mean by that our mind, to form or create a different reality, because the other one cannot exist at all at this particular junction in time. We must move forward, not only because it is time, but also it is by necessity. A must by what I call source, the source of life. I'm speaking not only of God, that which we call God, but beyond that. I understand it sounds kind of weird that there is something beyond God, but there is. That is not the particular subject of this chronicle right now. So we're going to let that go and move along. So at some other point we will start talking about it. The main subject is that we have to move beyond this point of acceptance of what we call reality. At this particular time, the planet is going through a lot of geological changes, which are only an aspect of a much more profound change that takes place into the core of our reality. This planet is situated in a different location in space itself. And in that particular, given that it's in that particular space, changes are occurring by necessity. Our planet, which is the field in which we inhabit, meaning that's where we live, is undergoing major changes as we speak.